Hi, this week's spelling is the same as last week's word, so you already have a head start. We are in chapter 3 in your spelling book. But right now I want to go over some of the words with you and make sure that you know the definition. So I hope you have your spelling book handy, your spelling notebook handy, and a pencil or a pen so you can jot down any words that you're unclear on the definitions. If you know the definition, then you don't need to write it down. But if it's new to you or you don't think you might remember what it is, then it would be a good idea to write it down because that's how we learn new words. All right. So some of these words I know that you know, like the word volleyball. You all know what volleyball is. You play it in PE. But we're going to go on to some other ones that you might not be as familiar with, like the word alley. Alley is a word that we use in English to describe the space between two sets of buildings. It's usually like a narrow little passageway. We usually say alley when we're referring to a dark, narrow passageway between two buildings, usually in a city. Okay? Sometimes it's paved, sometimes it's not. Often there's dumpsters or cats. Okay? That's an alley. Okay? We might also use the word alley like bowling alley because it refers to a small little lane where you pass the ball down. Okay, those are two uses for the word alley. My hair is being kind of crazy today. All right, belief. I think that you all know what the word belief means, but just in case, it refers to something that you think to be true. Okay, it's your belief. I have my belief in God. You might have your belief in the tooth fairy. Now, you might be right or you might not be right, but people have beliefs in different things. Or I might say that I have belief in you that you can do great things. Okay, so it's not always in reference to a God or a figure of our imagination or not. Sometimes we believe in other people and we say, belief is a form of that key word, that root word believe. Okay? Now, received. It's like when you get something. Okay? Have you received Jesus Christ as your Savior? Or have you received the letter that I sent you in the mail? Did you receive the message that I sent you on WhatsApp? That's the word receive, or received in this case. All right, achieve. Achieve is a word that we use when we do something great. All right, when we reach a high mark. So if we set a goal and then we get to that goal, then we say we achieved our goal. Okay, or you might say, I'm going to try to achieve my goal. All right, assembly. Assembly means like a group gathering together. All right, there was an assembly of people, or we had a school assembly. We all got together at school and we met together. That's assembly. Shield, that's something that you hold usually in battle in front of you to protect you. I think you all know that. But you might also shield your eyes from the sun, okay? So it's to put a block between you and something else to keep you safe usually. We might say that sunblock is a shield against the sun. All right, neither. That means this person or that person, or this thing or that thing. Neither one, but usually in a negative context, okay? So you might say, neither myself nor my sister liked the taste of the new gummy bear. All right? Neither. So not me or my sister. All right? Usually just you and one other person or two people. Okay? Relieve. Oh, whew, they were so relieved that the play had ended because they could not stand the play. Or I needed to go to work to relieve the person who was working the shift before me. Okay, to let go of is to relieve. Money, you all know what money is, so we don't need to go over that. Salary is the money that you get paid for a job. Okay, so if I work 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, and then I get paid, that payment is my salary. Okay, it's the amount that I was promised to get paid. Okay, that's my salary. It's what I earn. Territory. Territory refers to a piece of land, a space of land, often a wide place of land, okay? Usually we don't talk about a little territory. Usually it's a big area. So in this sense, they said many caves were found when people explored the territory. Okay, it paints a picture of a wide open space. Okay, it might be mountainous or something, but it's usually a big space out in nature. Not usually, we don't say territory when we talk about a city or a town, but a space in nature. Okay. Stalactites. Stalactites grow inside of caves. They're rock formations or build up from the water that drips down. And so stalactites you can remember because they're hanging on tight to the roof. Stalagmites grow up from the cave bottom as the water drops down and it builds deposits and it gets taller. So they had a lot of might and they reached up. So stalagmites are pointing up and stalactites are pointing down. All right. Chamber. Chamber is like a big space inside of a cave usually, or maybe inside of a castle. Like it had a big chamber, we would say like a big room, okay? Usually inside of a cave, but sometimes in a castle. Let's see. Columns. Columns are like posts. And stalagmites, we talked about. Sinkhole is when the ground just gives way and causes a huge hole in the ground to form. In my town in California, we had a giant sinkhole that formed right in front of our church, and this whole street just collapsed down into the ground and made a big hole, and that is a sinkhole. It's when all of a sudden there's just a massive hole in the ground for no reason. Well, there's probably a reason, but it just happens. Limestone is a kind of rock. It has a kind of greenish color. And kind of greenish whitish color. Section means a part of. Okay? So I had a section of the book to read. I had a part of the book to read. Or a section of the caves were off limits to visitors means that part of the caves you could not visit. Okay? Contact is when you touch someone or you reach out to someone. So you could either physically touch them and make contact with them, or maybe you're communicating with them and you're making contact with your voice. Okay? There's lots of ways to make contact, but contact is reaching out to someone, making some sort of bridge with someone where you touch them in some way, either with your voice, with eye contact, with touch, some sort of connection with something or someone. Intact. That means it's still put together in one piece. All right. So if you built a big Lego structure and then your brother came by and broke it all apart, it would no longer be intact. But if you put it all back together, then it would be intact. Okay. And dissect. Some people say dissect or dissect. It means to take apart something usually that's dead and to see what's inside. So maybe you cut open some sort of animal and you look at all the pieces inside. That's dissecting it. We talk about that in science sometimes because it's a word you use all the time, so you should already know what because means. And forgiveness. It means to pardon someone for something that they did against you. To say that's okay and then to move on. Okay, that's forgiveness. Now, our project today is kind of fun way to practice some of your words. What I want you to do is to pick some of the words off of your spelling list. You need to pick at least 5 words. Okay, at least 5. And you're going to use those words to create a picture. Now, I already did it on a piece of paper, but then I decided I would show you here on my whiteboard. I don't have very many colors of markers, so it won't be amazing, nor am I the best artist in the world. But that does not matter because we're just using our spelling words and we're just practicing. But I do need to be able to read what you write. So what I want you to do, I'm going to show you here on my whiteboard. There's my whiteboard. I'm going to take some of the words from our spelling list, 5 of them, and I'm going to make a picture using those words. So we talked about a sinkhole. Remember, a sinkhole is a giant hole in the ground. So I'm going to draw here. I'm going to set my phone here so you can see. And let's see if we can get that to work. Okay, so to make a sinkhole, I'm going to write the word sinkhole And then I'm going to write it again over here. Sink hole. And then I'm going to write it this way. And one more time. Okay, now see how I made a sinkhole by writing that word 4 times? That's what I want you to do. I want you to take a word, I want you to write it at least 4 times. You're going to do this with 5 different words and you're going to make a giant picture. Okay, so there's my sinkhole. Now I need to use another word from our vocab list. So I'm going to use the word territory. Now I told you a territory is a big open space. So I'm going to draw a big open space using the word territory. So I'm going to start over here and hopefully you can still see. And I'm going to write it again 4 times. Okay, there's my big open space of land. Okay, you can see it there. Okay, it's right there next to my sinkhole. I could have made my territory go under my sinkhole too. Okay, that's up to you. Now, you don't have to use these words that I'm using. I would love for you to create your own picture, something different than my picture. And then I think I'm going to use the word volleyball. And I'm going to write made kind of a volleyball net there with my word volleyball. And you can add some details here if that will help you or help me know what you're drawing. Okay, you don't have to do just words. You can add some shape to it if you need to. If you wanted to add some mud to your sinkhole, by all means, add some mud. If you want to add some grass to your territory, that's fine. I just want to be able to read your words and tell what words you used, okay? Then I've now used 1, 2, 3. I need to use 2 more words in my picture. So I'm going to use the word alley because we talked about that word a lot. Remember, an alley is like a little space between buildings. Okay, I can't just leave it like this because there's no building, so it doesn't really look like an alley. So that's where I might need to add, oh, let me scooch that over so you can see a little better. That's where I might need to add some extra art to my page to make it make sense. So I'm going to draw the side of a brick building here because often in alleys there's bricks on the buildings for some reason. Okay, you don't have to do the most fabulous art. The key is to practice your spelling, okay? But in kind of a fun way. And you can add more and more words if you want. There's lots of words about caves and stalagmites and stalactites, so that would be an easy way to go. But I leave it up to you. You need to use 5 words. You need to use each word 4 times to make your picture. All right, so now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 words. I need to add 1 more. So I'm going to say my word is contact. Okay, now I'm going to draw my guy here on the side of the volleyball net. Now this is not going to be a great drawing because I'm trying to hold the board up. Okay, here's my guy. He's playing volleyball. He's gonna put his arms up so he can play. Okay, I might use different colors if I had more colors to use. I'll give him a neck here. Okay, and then there needs to be a ball, and then his hand should make contact. Now, I can write contact anywhere in here. Okay, I would write it 4 times, so anywhere on his body. Okay, contact. Okay, I could have also used the word receive because he's receiving the ball, but I put contact. Okay, so that's what I would like you to do. I would like you to pick 5 of your spelling words or more, however many you need to practice. I would choose the ones you really need to work on because that would make sense, but it's up to you. 5 words, each one 4 times, and make a picture. That's your spelling for today. Have fun. I can't wait to see your artwork. Bye.